You heard it from Kyle Greaves. This is for the title at 185. MMA is the rule set. Dawid Jarowienko taking on Filipo Giannetti.
Round one.
Filipo Giannetti in the red corner, Dawid Jarowienko in the blue. We talked about the experience, Dean. My question to you is, does it count?
Oh, there's a double leg. Talking to Giannetti, he said that Jarowienko is experienced, but he is beatable, and he rocked him with that overhand left. But he finds himself now in the bottom position. Holding on to that head's going to be precarious because he can't escape from this position now. And he opens himself up to this ground and pound.
Well, Giannetti is 2-0 in boxing, and Jarowienko getting that level change after Giannetti connected with the left straights. This is where Dawid Jarowienko took out James Saunders from the top last time around at Supreme Championship 16.
He's got the nice crucifix position here, battling to control the left arm of Giannetti. There's also an option here for a choke. If the right hand could come around the head here of Giannetti, there's a Von Flue choke available for Jarowienko.
Yeah, amen to that, right? I mean, it seems like he's a little bit more determined to try to trap the arm. You mentioned the potential crucifix in play.
But the beauty of the Von Flue choke is if your opponent escapes, he simply just takes his arm out and you're still in the top position.
Exactly.
Whereas sometimes if you don't address the underhook with the crucifix, your opponent can potentially threaten the back.
And Giannetti reaching to try to wrap the neck, a mistake at this juncture?
Almost certainly. There's no affordance for him to submit in this position, particularly with this angle. And also, it might serve the affordance to burn his arm out, holding onto that head, and gives the crucifix position.
That's exactly what Jarowienko was looking for the whole time. Walking along, tracking the action. Despite the struggle from Giannetti, physical effort is one thing, but technique is another conversation. So if you're Giannetti, what do you do right now? I mean, he's trying to sit up into this and just kind of big brother's way out, but I feel like there's a better way.
He's halfway there with the left arm. He framed on the hip, moved the hips, but he's got to let go of the head with the right arm, get it on the inside like he wants to pull his elbows close to his body and start to hip escape and follow the half guard. He's trying to get it here, but it's going to be a bit of serve to him if he releases that right arm around the neck of Jarowienko.
Now, we do see fighters use that. Like if you're against the fence, sometimes you can use it to try to get up.
Now to secure the guillotine off of his back, possible from half guard, difficult, more viable from the full guard position. So yeah, we need to see Giannetti get his left leg out and around the body of Jarowienko to finish the guillotine.
Yeah, he's just like a dog on a bone there. Experience, motivation, discipline, humility. Loves it all from the team, he said to us. But Giannetti at 23 and significantly less experience, at least in MMA, is probably always going to be the underdog coming into this fight. Jarowienko on top, 10-second clapper.
Great top control from Jarowienko.
And there you go. The Italian and Jarowienko, by way of Poland, training out of Immortal MMA, of course. A team we've seen earlier here tonight, Sacré-Cœur for Filipo Giannetti. So an international fight, but two fighters currently calling the UK home base. Let's take a look at some of the action. Here is what went down.
There was a nice powerful left hand there from Giannetti, and that prompted him to explode with another one. But Jarowienko, with the correct game plan, changed levels, take down in the top position. But Giannetti did a good job of maneuvering around to half guard to alleviate the pressure and to avoid that crucifix position, Chris.
So if you're Giannetti and you want to strike, the first punch you threw, rock the other guy. What do you do now?
Got to maintain the distance, and it's difficult because you get the guy hurt and you want to chase forward and finish the fight, but you have to be a bit reserved. Patience is a key in those instances.
Round
2. Round 2 of 3. Middleweight title is up for grabs. Jarowienko and Giannetti. Jarowienko in the blue corner, Giannetti in the red. Let's see if Giannetti can get the handiwork going.
Jarowienko looking for the level change. Says to me that he wants to shoot a takedown.
Switching up almost is Jarowienko landing the left kick. Giannetti backing off. You can see now a little bit more education in the distance management for the Italian.
Oh, beautiful left again, but he charges in and goes for the teep to the body, lifts the leg and gives it to Jarowienko. He's got a great overhand left, does Giannetti, but he's given up the same position. Now he's going to hold on to the head here. How long is his arm going to be able to maintain this? Is he going to burn out? Is he going to be able to circle around? And also you've got to factor in that Jarowienko's been here previously in the first round. Is he going to now start to consolidate and affordance to get out of this position? Is he going to look for the Von Flue? Is he going to look for the crucifix? Is he going to avoid the half guard?
Yeah, and that's always the question, isn't it, right? Like, if you went to the same thing and expected a different result, and you find yourself, well, in the same place, should we expect a different outcome here in comms?
Well, we're seeing the same outcome here, minus that Giannetti's not actually clasped the leg. So if Jarowienko could sense that, he could skip that left leg out of the half guard and secure the side control position.
Now, if you're Jarowienko, what are you doing to try to open up a finish from here? Fight the grips first?
He's got to circle that right arm into the face, put his bicep in the face of his opponent, and then look to pin him to the mat, hold the arm, and then start to pass the guard.
Yeah, because you can make it uncomfortable, even if, from the pressure interrupting the breathing too. But just as we say it, Giannetti gets the butterfly hooks into play. Look at this.
Footlock.
Jarowienko dropping back. Straight ankle territory for Dawid Jarowienko.
Oh, they're both going for the same footlock.
Will Jarowienko change it up? Giannetti not quite deep where he'd like to be on that.
Jarowienko getting back to his feet, did a good job of escaping the foot out of that position. Now looking for the leg kick. He's taking some deep breaths as he shoots the double leg.
He does. Can he complete it? Yes, he can. Does Giannetti hold on to the neck? Yes, of course.
Giannetti could opt to try and use this position to get to the top position here. If he can get his knees down to the ground and get his hips squared to the ground, he can look to get to the top position. I think Jarowienko is having a bit of trouble defending his neck. He can start to hand fight here. He's simply just got to punch the hands away of Giannetti to alleviate the pressure from this grip on the neck. Seems like it's giving him a little bit of trouble.
Jarowienko trying to relieve the pressure and does so.
Going to get a warning for the elbow. I think accidentally fired an elbow there from the top position.
I think it was also some tape. Is there some tape loose on the gloves of Giannetti? Yes, there is.
Jarowienko looks noticeably tired as well. There's a mouthpiece as well on the ground.
Let's see what Stuart Davies has to say.
Oh, he's going to take a point, it looks like.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Stuart Davies deducting a point from Dawid Jarowienko in a fight that it looked like he was winning. That could make all the difference here, Dean.
There's the left again from Giannetti. Outside trip, Jarowienko. He's going to try and fight the double here. He's got to cut the L in this position, Chris.
Wow. Jarowienko, who is absolutely up in this fight, just deducted a point and also looks compromised in the cardio department. What do you make of this one, Dean? Looking at the corners, well, forget the corners, let's talk about this.
There's a beautiful outside trip from Jarowienko. He gets his head caught again in the guillotine, but secures the side control position. But the key here, you can see the right arm trapped of Jarowienko. He wants to get that right arm out and put his bicep in the face of his opponent and manipulate him to have a flat back. It's going to make it a lot more easy for him to alleviate the pressure on the neck and then pass the guard and stay in the top position.
Now, two questions. First, the L. What do you mean by that, cutting the L?
So imagine if you drew an L on the floor, you have a straight avenue and then an immediate right or left turn. So it's the shape of the letter of the L. What you want to do is press your opponent back as you shoot the double leg and then change angles. So you cut the L, so you make an L shape. So you're going backwards in one instance and immediately you go to lateral movement, which enables the takedown.
To get the flare, right?
Yeah, to enable yourself to change directions. Your opponent can't keep up with the change in direction.
Got it. Second question, looking at the corners, your assessment.
Jarowienko definitely tired, and he's going to have to fight for this takedown and get into the top position. The positive of that, if he gets to the top position, he can start to put pressure on his opponent and start to rest. He can regain some of this oxygen debt.
Which is kind of important, it would seem, at this juncture. Well, third and final round here unfolding in front of us. Not much yet to go at Supreme Championship 17. But right now, it's all about Dawid Jarowienko and Filipo Giannetti. Giannetti, a boxing vet, coming into MMA. Jarowienko 4-1 in MMA. Deducted a point in the last round, but is dominating this fight again in the third stanza.
He's doing a great job in the top position, open guard, slamming some punches down. And he's doing a great job as well, giving his weight and all of his gravity to his opponent. And what he's trying to do is maintain the top position, but also he's trying to rest. He's trying to expend the minimal amount of energy. Good look to pass the guard here if he holds the ankles and fires the legs to one side. Boom, fight pass. There's an open guard here as well for Jarowienko to pass.
Jarowienko posturing, walking forward.
This is where he sat back for the leg lock previously. And he actually got countered in the footlock from Giannetti, so he's opting to stay in the top position. He'll use his hips whilst he rises up to punch and immediately go back down to the ground in the guard position.
You sell the pass, right?
Well, this time, at this point, it doesn't seem like he wants to pass at all. He wants to stay in the top position and maintain a heavy, dominant sort of pressure to give himself a bit of a rest whilst landing some ground and pound that allows the ref to keep this in this position.
Okay, so you sell the posture and then you fall for the leg lock, right?
I would definitely advise Jarowienko not to drop back for the footlock, given that Giannetti countered with that, and it gives the opportunity for Giannetti to get into the top position, given that Jarowienko is so tired. So, to be honest, he's doing the right thing. He's staying heavy, he's laying in this top position, using the ground and pound, and he might just not have the cardio to pass the guard into a more dominant position.
Well, it ain't necessarily pretty, but heck, it's a blue-collar performance, man. That's what counts. You got to win the rounds. You got to beat the fighter in front of you with what advantages you can muster.
Yeah, he's reading the situation. He knows his own body. He understands that he's compromised in the cardio department at this point in time, and he's using the tactics that favor that. He's staying on the top position. He's staying heavy, not a lot of movement, not trying to pass the guard and use gross motor skills and motor movement and using lots of musculature. He's just staying cool and heavy in this position, using the ground and pound.
Well, listen, just a quick reminder, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Hope you're enjoying the wonderful fight show here from the O2 in Bournemouth. Supreme Championships always bringing you the action. Quick shout out to one of our main sponsors here tonight, VLM Solutions. More than 20 years of experience. Services range from post protection, door supervision, residential security, surveillance, CCTV monitoring, event management, and everything else. Check them out at vlmsolutions.co.uk. And that's the fight, Dean. Jarowienko is exhausted.
Yeah, there's two contrasting pictures here. You can see on the right side of the cage, Giannetti stood up, taking some water, and on the left side, Jarowienko laying on the floor. But as we look at some of the action from this fight, Chris, this was the end of the fight where we saw Jarowienko in the top position, stayed heavy with the hips, he negated the angles as well, landed some nice ground and pound.
Well, it isn't often you see the guy who's just won the more exhausted after the fight, but Giannetti, you know, got to give him the credit. He came in and took a tough fight. And Kyle Greaves will tally up the scorecards. I believe unanimous decision despite the point deduction.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree. Whether he can receive the belt or not as he's so tired is another question.
Well, Dawid Jarowienko and Filipo Giannetti go the distance here at Supreme Championship 17. And again, shout out to our sponsor, VLM Solutions. Once again, we really appreciate all the support from our sponsors and, of course, making this title fight possible here. Only 2 fights yet to go. Co-main events and main events forthcoming. Here's Kyle Greaves.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 awesome rounds of MMA action, your cage-side judges have reached a split decision. So let's hear it for your winner. In the blue corner, Dawid Jarowienko. And let's hear it from runner-up, Filipo Giannetti.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here alongside the champ,
Dawid Jarowienko. Dawid, it was a wild fight. I know you're tired, brother. I'm just going to give you the mic and you can say one thing to the fans here. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all of people who come and support me. Thanks for my opponent, Giannetti. It's a really tough fighter. Will be a great fight to see you again. Let's go!
Dawid Jarowienko.